The address on Shalom Melech is
After I say it's the 27th of June, this is Rabbi Levitt, Chofetz Chaim. The address is Shmuel,
Shalom Melech.
Shaul HaMelech, 39-1.
39-1. Okay, very good. 39-1. Let's see, 39. Oh, yeah, okay. That's easy to remember. That's Jackie Robinson, Brooklyn Dodgers.
39-1.
Good grief.
Where are we again, please?
Okay, yesterday we got up to, we're in the middle of Sif Zayin.
Zip Zion.
We started reading this at the Shabbos table.
What's that, Roy?
We've started reading this at the Shabbos table.
Oh, very nice.
Hmm.
Very good. Yeah, that's a nice thing to do for the.
So what page are we on now?
358.
358. Okay. Okay, so far in this Sif, we have the Chofetz Chaim is going over the third condition of the 7 that he mentioned earlier about when someone sees another Jew doing an Aveira to harm another Jew, and included in those things that harm another Jew that are in Aveira, Lashon Hara, and Rechilas. So far, he spoke out in this section that before he goes ahead and tells this to other Jews about what Jew number 2 said or did to Jew number 3, he has to approach Jew number 2 and reprimand him for what he did, to give him tochacha. And if the Jew accepts that and this does tshuva and returns the stolen item or asks forgiveness from the person who he wronged, whatever he needs to do, so then that's it. He stops right there, and he's not allowed to say anything further. But if the Jew doesn't listen and doesn't correct the situation, so then he goes to the fourth condition. Okay, so now we're up to va'af shegam ata asurim hashomim lekabel davar zeh behaklata. Oh, actually, I think we read that, right? Yeah, because I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we're up to Sif Ches.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so we're up to Sif Ches. Okay, so v'kol zeh k'she'ein alav ema min ha'ishahu shemedaber alav. Sif Ches, and we call upon Mayor to continue the reading.
Okay, let's see. Sif Chet. Hold on 1 second, please. Something happened here. Okay, it says, V'chol zeh, Kishe'ein alav ema min ha'ish ahu shemidaber alav. Okay, so this entire the obligation of Ruvain to discuss Shimon's wrongdoing in the presence of three people applies only if Ruvain is not afraid of Shimon, the person about whom he is speaking. Avalim yesha alav ema, but if Ruvain is afraid of Shimon, sheyesh Lahara imo. Oh, that Shimon is able to cause him harm. Yesh lahakel. There may be grounds for Ruvain to be lenient. L'saper alav ha'avla she'asa l'chavero. To speak about the offense that Shimon committed against his fellow Jew. Afilu shelo ba'apei tilata. Even when not in the presence of three people.
Right, because we said in the this is directly coming after what we read in the previous section in Sif Zion, that the Chofetz Chaim said that when in telling over this story, he has to be careful to say it in front of at least three people.
Right. Okay.
And so the people know that he's not trying to, that he's not afraid that person number two is going to hear what he's saying, because he knows that he'll deny it and prove that he's wrong, so it undercuts his credibility, or for another reason, Chofetz Chaim said that if he's not going to say it, in front of three people, which are going to, as a result of that, the word is going to get back to Jew number two. People will think that he's flattering Jew number two by being very nice to him in his presence, but speaking behind his back, backstabbing him. So like this, no, it's all out in the open. So in this case, if he's afraid of him, though, so then there's grounds, it says the Chofetz Chaim, perhaps there's grounds to say that he would be allowed to say over what Jew number two did to Jew number three, or said about him, even if it was not ba'apei tlasa, in front of three people, because of this reason that he's scared of him, and he doesn't want him to. He has sheyesh le'el yado. That means that he has the power in his hand to do evil to him. So rather than risk that, he doesn't need to risk that by perhaps speaking in front of three people. Okay. Okay, that was a short one. Now we go to Siftes. How short is Siftes? Okay, a little longer. Okay, so we'll go to Roy to continue, please. Siftes.
The second case where Reuven need not share Shimon's transgression in the presence of three people. V'im hamatafer l'ribim ki lo yosor p'nei ish. If the speaker, that's Reuven, has an established reputation as someone who does not seek to carry anyone's favor, v'es kol asher Yoma Shalo Afini Bipani Chavera, meaning that he is the type of person who, when criticizing someone in his absence, also your Yodaber Befiniv, he wouldn't hesitate to say below Yigur Mepini Ish, because he is not intimidated by anyone. V'huchazek gam kain b'torch amo, and he is established in his community. Asher lo yiraber rak amat MS. And he's established in his community as someone who speaks only the truth. And then he may report Shimon's misdeed even in private. Macher anashim rabba Allah she'oseh adam l'chavera. And if Reuven is known to be such a person, he is permitted to tell others about the offense that Shimon committed against Levi. V'yareh bo shelo yikabel ko, without first rebuking Shimon. When he knows that Shimon will not accept his rebuke, afilu shelo even if not in the presence of three people, kila yesh kazer, he may even speak privately, is because in the case of a person with such sterling reputation, Hasham Meim La Yahash Duhu Lachalnef Al Leshakran. The listeners will not suspect him of being either a flatterer or a liar when he speaks of Shimon's misdeeds in private. Rakshahu Miss Koven, the Karne, the Omes, they will understand that his intention is either to uphold the truth for the honor of heaven, Velozo, the Asher, Ishem Lo, or to help the victim, or the Nos Haraim Befini Kol, or to wrongdoings to others. After Zer Bechaim B'mei Shekosavnu Kesiv. Hey, nevertheless, with regards to this case, that's where Reuven possesses a sterling reputation, and also to the other exceptional case that we addressed above in Sif 8, where Reuven is fearful of Shimon. Tzorich Lizah Ma'od, Reuven must be very careful to ensure Shilel V'Haru V'Zeh Kol Haparatim Hagar. Well, I don't know that. Okay, but Simon. That Reuven must be very careful to ensure that none of the 7 conditions listed earlier at the beginning of this klal in Sefer 2 are missing. Elo chasranu mahem, for the thing from which we have exempted Reuben in these two instances, rak haparot ha'va'avti till so, is only the detail about having to relate the report in the presence of three people. We have not exempted Reuben in this case from having to satisfy the 7 preconditions enumerated above.
Okay. So I see over here from what the Chofetz Chaim has said, it's clear that this requirement of speaking to a group of 3 applies across the board, except in these 2 cases that he said before. So that was, I think, a question that we had. It's resolved here.
There's a footnote 38, which is back a page. It's on page 359 rather than underneath here, which is 360, and that says, I think what you said. See Be'er Mayim Chaim 25 as to why the Chofetz Chaim equivocates about this leniency. There may be grounds for leniency. Equivocates. See also Be'er Mayim Chaim above 432 and 815, where he presents this leniency unequivocally.
Oh, okay.
So here he equivocates about it, and back and above he is quite certain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scenario here too.
Yeah, what's that?
A
Let's hear it.
wise and reverend Rav is mediating a divorce. A wise and reverend Rav is mediating a divorce in which, unknown to the community, the husband has long refused to grant a get. The Rav asks the man's business partner to influence him. Although the Rav is sharing information with only one person, the fact that he has unassailable motives makes his words permissible as to others with no hint of personal animosity involved.
Well, one second. In other words, it sounds like what the note is saying is that if the person was not a esteemed individual like a Rav Chashuv, then it would be questionable whether or not this person would be able to relate this information. The information, I guess, what they're referring to is that for a long time, this man has not given a get to his wife. The implication being that he should have done so a long time ago, and he's just refused out of, for no good reason. And so here the Rav is relating that information because otherwise the business partner's got to know that, because otherwise what's he going to tell him? All right. I mean, it wouldn't be sufficient for the Rav to just say, I'm asking you as his business partner to please speak to him about we think that it's proper that he should, carry through with the divorce and not delay it. He doesn't have to tell him that he's been delaying it for the last 10 years.
Mm.
It's interesting. I guess, in other words, that will give the business partner more of a reason to make sure that he prevails upon him to do that. I guess if he knows that information that he's been holding it up for the last 10 years.
The Rav seems to feel that the business partner will have more influence on the husband to give a get rather than himself.
Right. The Rav has tried for the last 10 years to no avail. So he's my only question is that it would seem like it's a clear-cut case that the only reason that anyone would tell the business partner that he hasn't given a get in 10 years is not out of personal animosity, but because that he he should know that this is an urgent matter that should be attended to, and the case for doing so should be brought to this person in a very unequivocal and strong way. But apparently the notice is saying that no, people will suspect that really, like I said, that he could get along with telling the business partner without relating the fact that it's been 10 years since he's been supposed to have done this for the last 10 years. Maybe the reason why he's saying that is just to denigrate him. But in the case of a Rav like this, so then people don't see it like that. So therefore the Rav would be able to, Dafka the Rav would be able to relate that information, whereas the implication is that an ordinary person would not be able to do that. He would only be able to approach the business partner and say, please try to speak to him about this matter, and it's an urgent matter, which you of course understand that is, as long as it's not done, then the wife is stuck. Okay. Yeah. So you see, it's not so simple. It would seem, it would seem to be a clear-cut case of Toelis to say that the additional piece of information. But okay. All right. Okay. That leaves us with the Sif Yud. And we go to Alan to continue, please.
All right, page 361, the top, right?
Yes.
Okay. The day owed the short thin yachad din sipur lashon haram al the davar oron shebain odom lachavero v'sipur lashon hara al the davar oron shebain odom l'mor kom af veror Shebain Adam Lamakom. The difference between a Macavero and Lamakom sinner. In the introduction to this klal, the Chofetz Chaim stated that this klal addresses the law pertaining to someone who reports his fellow's misdeed in the area of Bein Adam Macavero, whereas in klal 4, he addressed the law as it pertains to reporting Bein Adam Makom transgressions. The Chofetz Chaim now spells out the differences between the two. Number 10, Avodah Od. Note as well. V'shor vin yachad adin sipor l'shon hara al davar or bon shebein odom l'chavero. That is, while essentially the same law applies when speaking lashon hara about another person's bein adam l'chavero transgressions, v'sipor l'shon hara al davar l'makom, and when speaking lashon hara about one's bein adam hamakom transgressions, there is a difference between the two cases. Ach ba'avera shebein adam bein adam hamakom transgression ein mutor l'saper or ron is not permitted to speak against the sinner. Afilu yush mu kol team hanei sheba or so if base, even if all the conditions listed in Sif 2 are fulfilled, Elaim Cain or Allah, unless a speaker sees a sinner, Chez Bor Se or Roar, Kamor Mim B'Mezim, persisting in his misconduct by intentionally violating the prohibition several times, V'hu Devar Hamaru Puru Som Lakol, excuse me, Shehu Osa, and the transgression involves something that is known by all to be clearly forbidden, as explained above, Kaf 4, Sif 7. If the offender had not sinned repeatedly, the speaker must assume that the sinner had since repented. Also, if the prohibition was not widely known, the speaker must assume the sinner was not aware that his actions were sinful. Therefore, the misdeed may not be reported. By contrast, in the case of a Bein Adam of Guerrero transgression, a person may report the transgression even if the fellow is not a repeat offender, and even when the prohibition was not well known. So if haber davor ze b'chol, refer to Klal 4, Sif 7, where we explain this matter in great detail.
Uh-huh.
And see above note 3 at length.
Okay. What's it say, note 3?
Yeah, which is a different page.
Note 3 is way back.
Yeah.
This is note 41. 3 is This is column 9, column U.
Page 345, note 3.
Page 345 is note 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my book, it's 343. The left column.
Oh,
at the bottom.
it continues over. It's a long note, starts on the left-hand column of 343, goes to the right-hand column and then over the page to 344.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's a long one. All right. So maybe we'll continue then with Sif Yud Aleph. We go to Lu to continue. Mama Od Yesh Li Zoher.
You're muted, Lou.
Sorry. I was looking at note 3 and I lost my place. What page are we on?
362,
362. Thank you.
Yud Aleph.
Uma ma'od yesh l'zaher. He must be extremely careful. What are we talking about? If Reuven himself was a victim of someone's injustice, he must be extremely careful. Shelo lehatir la'atzmo l'saper la'acherim. Not to rid himself to tell others, Ech shehaya lo asek im poloni upoloni. How that it was that he had dealings with such and such a person. Ugzalo o asako bezeh uvezeh ha'ofen, who then robbed him or cheated him in such and such a way. O shecher fo, o cro, uviyisho, v'chol ki hagavna, or he debased or distressed or embarrassed him in any way. Va'afilu im hu yodea ba'atzmo she'eno mitshaker ba'sipur hazeh. And even if Reuven is certain that he is not lying or exaggerating in his account, it's still forbidden for him to discuss the matter with others. Im lo ba'ofen she'nivaer lekaman b'sa'if Yud Gimel, except in the case specified below in Sif 13, because his intentions are not pure, but only to exact revenge. Afilu im yitztarfu lazeh kol she'ar piratei ha-keter 13. Even if all the aforementioned conditions needed for permit are satisfied, Reuven would not report how Shimon mistreated him. Diva vadai ein kavanaso be'es hatipur le toelis. That certainly it's not his intention when relating the incident about his personal mistreatment will certainly not be to achieve the toelis, the constructive purpose of upholding the truth for the sake of heaven. Tehayinu lefar same genuso shel kavero. That is, Reuven's intent presumably will not be to publicize Shimon's corruption. Kadei sheyavuzu osei rish'a be'enai b'nei adam. In order that people should learn to view evildoers such as Shimon as depraved. V'yizaharu al yidei zeh mi laleches b'darkehem ha'ra'im. And thus avoid following in their wrongful ways. O kidei shehu yir'ah ba'atzmo sheha b'rios miganos oso, or so that Shimon himself should see that people are denouncing him. Ulai al yidei zeh yashuv midrachav haraim, and perhaps he'll mend his wrongful ways as a result. Rather, since Reuven himself was victimized by Shimon, Rak Kivan Nato Liva So Be'enai B'nei Adam. We assume that his intention in sharing Shimon's actions is only to humiliate Shimon in people's eyes. Sheye for some lifnehem lecherpa ulekaon, and to publicize that Shimon is a person who deserves shame and disgrace. Avur zeh shenaga b'mamono o bichvodo, for having damaged his possessions or reputation. V'chol she'yir'eh yoser she'divarav yiskabelu lifnei ha'shom'im. Indeed, the more Reuven sees that his words are being accepted by the listeners, Vayis har seim be'einehem lignus ula vizayon avur zeh, that Shimon is now perceived in their eyes as an object of disdain and contempt. Yeah, yoser sameach, the happier he will be. V'yoser ne mizeh, and the more pleasure he derives from relating the lashon hara.
Okay. So in other words, the Chofetz Chaim is basically saying over here that Jew number 3 would not be able to relate to others, to tell over to others what Jew number 2 did to him. Only Jew number 1, who was a bystander, nothing was done to him. He's the one that we're talking about that would be permitted to publicize this sin that Shimon, that the Jew number 2 did to Jew number 3, provided he fulfills all the 7 requirements. But even if he fulfills all the requirements himself, Jew number 3 would not be allowed, says the Chofetz Chaim.
I'm a little confused by that. Let's say I hire a painter to paint my house, and he thins the paint in order to cheat me and save money. And I find out about it, and I go through all the steps, all the seven principles. And now Plony comes over for dinner, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm painting my house, and I heard that Yisachar painted your house. Do you recommend him? Should I use him?" So I would think in that case, it'd be appropriate for me to say, no, don't use him.
Yeah, the case that you're talking about is not the case that the Chofetz Chaim is talking about. The Chofetz Chaim is not talking about speaking Lashon Hora, which is a to'elis, in order to protect the person who you know for a fact is planning on engaging this individual in business. He's talking about publicizing it to people so that they will who are not he's talking about the fact that it's not a question of using this person for business. He did Jew number 2 did something to Jew number 3. He shamed him. He stole from him. He did this to him, and all the people we want to come away from this is that, oh, how terrible it is to do things like that, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to warn my family not to do things like that also. It's not a matter. It's not the to'elis that we're talking about over here is not to protect the listeners from harm that Jew number 2 would do to them.
No.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Harold. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, it's time.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you, Rabbi.
All the best, everybody. All the best to Mayor.